Today I'm working on a video to demonstrate some more of how the Oratex fabric is going on. This is a continuation of the Be-Lite Ultracub build that I've been working on. So I've been at it about a year, and finally to the point where all my major construction is complete. Now I'm working on the covering, so starting with the tail surfaces. As you can see, I've already applied the fabric here and covered the elevator surface. So from here you can see we've got both sides of the elevator complete. I got the main covering material on, and then I did the 2-inch reinforcing on the ribs here. So now what I'm working on is getting the trailing edge, and then I'll be doing the pivot edge, the leading edge of that elevator done here in a little bit. So I measured the trailing edge. It's a V-shaped extruded aluminum that goes along here, and found that it worked best with the 3-inch tape. So what I've done is I've cut a length of the 3-inch tape, and I folded it in half so it'll fit nicely over the trailing edge like this. And then I'm going to clamp it down, get the iron out, and fasten that down. The Oratex, as I said in my previous video from the sample I did, it works great. It's simple and easy to use. Like anything, you want to take care. If you do make a mistake, especially once you put it on in the first place, you can apply heat and adjust it. The material shrinks up, so if you're approaching it nice and thoughtfully as you're working on it, it will behave quite nicely. Let's see, get my clamps over here. I find the white is a bit unforgiving because it's white. It's easy to see through. Some of the wrinkles and things are going to show. Also, the iron will leave marks on the white. So it takes a little extra time and care from that standpoint. I was originally going to go with silver, but due to my own mistake, when I made the order with the folks at Better Aircraft Fabric, I ended up having white on the order form. So no worries, the white actually is pretty neat. I've got some cool ideas in mind for painting. So I'm just feeling kind of the adjustment and making sure that the tape is in place. Like on any good cooking show, I already had the iron preheated. You can see this is a nice digital iron, so it's telling me I've got it to 130 degrees centigrade Celsius, so it's not Fahrenheit. The Oratex glue sets at 212 degrees, so you need to be at least above that. And then you work with this release paper. I've been using this one on the last project I was doing. So, my technique, I suppose there's many, so this is what I've adapted to here. Kind of start from the edge, go forward, and get some heat and pressure on that. And you can see, even from that little swipe I did right there, maybe you can't see, I'll bring the camera in, that it anchored down right away. So a little extra heat and pressure here to get a good bond, and that surface is attached. Let me bring that in closer to show you here. So if we're looking at this, you can see how that bonded down nicely. I can take my fingernail on these pinked edges, and it's down secure. Now what I did in preparation before doing that is I did paint the Oratex hot melt glue, right? Goes on with the brush. It's water soluble, cleans up easily, so I keep my water here ready to go. Painted that on, and I went up to the edge of the extruded aluminum here, and then there's glue already on the back of these tapes, so I've got 2 layers of glue to bond together. That's going to be a really solid bond when everything's all said and done. so you can see how that attaches there. And then I'm going to work through the middle sections of each one of these bays from between the ribs, because I've got rivets in here, and I'll go over the rivets last with a hot air gun to anchor those down and make it nice and neat. I tried with the iron and didn't work so well. Now over on this side, I finished this one the other day, and I'll come in pretty close here, and you can see that's all bonded down solid. Again, none of the pinked edges are sticking up. You can see where the rivets are here, and this is now 1, 2, 3 layers of material, so I've got lots of strength right on that point. You can see there's a tiny wrinkle right here. I'm going to try and go over that again and iron that out. But you can see all along here that these have turned out really clean. Now underneath, I'm learning a little bit more about how the fabric lays, because right here you can see where I did the overlap from the other side. Might not have been necessary. Could have done it with a cleaner cut, but I mean, this is bonded extremely well. I don't expect any issues there from that standpoint. Okay, so move on and finish up what I've got going on here. I do want to re-emphasize to anybody that has questions about, the challenges around applying Oratex. If you can iron, you can put on Oratex. Maybe you don't like to iron. Maybe that's something you leave to your wife, or to some of the women in your life. I don't know, but it is really easy. I mean, you can see what I'm working on here, and I'm applying heat and pressure to these flat surfaces so I can get a good bond. And I'm looking at that. I mean, it's all nice and smooth. Again, I'll go over with the heat gun a little bit, just to catch some of those surfaces there. So again, I just ironed this down, and that's solid. No worries in that respect. We're having a wet, rainy day here in Wisconsin today. It's a good day to be indoors working on stuff like this. Pandora playing in the background with acoustic guitar, and I'm out of the house and out of my wife's way for a while, so she can have some peace and quiet for a day. So this is working. I'm pretty happy with this right now. This is working really good. Now, if you do have a chance to practice, in my previous video I had some little square frames that I put together. It's a good way to get some practice, and I would always recommend that. Get a feel for the product. I think there's the Kit Fox forum I was reading just the other day. Long discussion about the pros and cons of Oratex. There's a lot of folks who have been around Stewart systems and the different various covering methods, and there's a lot of skepticism Oratex. And I'm just like, you know, call me silly, I guess, but I've always been comfortable taking a risk on stuff like this, and you know, let's be an innovator. If nobody innovated, then well, I guess Al Gore wouldn't have invented the internet, right? Alright, so there you go. I've got this surface down. I'm going to flip this over and do the other side, and then I'll be back with you in a little bit as I work with the heat gun to get that attached.